These are the most overrated cars, starting with something a little controversial, the Supra, specifically the Mach 4 Supra. I want to start by saying the Supra is a decent car. The 2JZ is iconic and probably the most recognizable engine of all time, while the styling, perfect. But once you get past all that, what else is there to like about it? That's where we get to the overrated part. It's the cult surrounding it. The Supra has gone from great car to holy relic. You see one at a car meet, and suddenly everyone's acting like it's the hottest thing there, regardless if the build looks good or not. And if you say, well, it's just a Toyota, you better say your prayers. You know what's even more annoying? Do you guys remember that stupid meme or trend or whatever where people would say, is that a Supra? Yeah, out of the 2 times I saw a Supra on the road, I noticed there's 2 kinds of people. Well, actually 3. The first type of people, the ones who just leave the goddamn driver alone, and then you have the second type of people who just decide to take pictures of one and post it. My friend sent me his picture of a Supra, and I was like, wow, now what am I supposed to do with this blurry mess? Then there's the third type of people, the kids who show no respect to those around them and decide to roll their windows down and poke their heads out of their mom's minivan. They say, bro, is that a Supra? The driver looks at them weirdly and the light turns green. Listen kid, put your head back into that car and continue playing Fortnite on your iPad. No one asked you to do this. Your mom didn't ask you to personally embarrass her, and you're just making this awkward for everyone. Do you think anyone over the age of 12 knows or cares about this stupid trend? No, so just respect those around you on the road. Please, don't be the second or third person. Supras are treated way better than other JDM cars, all because it magically got popular. Listen, there's nothing wrong with liking and respecting the Supra, but if you start becoming a stan and act like it's the greatest machine ever built, just stop. No one cares about your opinion. If the Supra wasn't hogged by collectors jacking up its price, and if it had a normal community around it, I don't think it'd even be on this list. But it's the people, the ones who turned it into some kind of untouchable god-tier car that make the Supra overrated. Next up, the new M3 G80. Yeah, I said it. Look, the M3 has always been a legend. E30, E36, E46, all solid and driver-focused. The old M3s made you feel something, but now, the new M3 looks like it got punched in the face twice and someone said, print it. That grille looks like it's trying to inhale a Prius. I don't care how much performance it has. When your front end looks like a running air purifier, we've got a problem. Next, the price. People are paying upwards of 70k, 80k, even 100k. Yeah, it's fast, it has a twin turbo and ton of grip. It's technically better than ever, but that's the problem. It's too perfect, too digital, and too numb. It's like driving a really aggressive Tesla, and it's heavy, like heavier than a Sprinter van heavy. Yeah, I don't know how, but the new M3 actually weighs more than a Mercedes Sprinter, a cargo van. BMW made a track car that's built like a U-Haul, and don't even get me started on the people who buy the base M3 just to flex and never take it above 3,000 RPM. You daily drive an M3 just to sit in traffic with your ventilated seats and rev it at stoplights to get attention. If you want a BMW just to be cool, you don't deserve a BMW. There are so many better cars out there in the price range of a new M3. Imagine actually having 100 grand saved up to buy a car, and you choose an M3 to show off. Ever since BMW entered that giant grille era, the whole brand kind of fell off. It's like they lost their identity and started designing cars and who could scream the loudest on TikTok. The M3 used to be about the driving experience. Now, it's about who could lease it for 36 months and drive aggressively. BMW owners are so bad, I think they need an entirely separate DMV to learn to drive better. What does this even mean? Next up, the Lamborghini Urus, or as I like to call it, the Audi Q8 with the midlife crisis. Imagine having enough money to buy a Lamborghini, and you buy an SUV. Most rich guys say, well, I need the extra space for my family, you know. But if you have the money for a Lamborghini, you have the money to also buy a Toyota Sienna to take your kids to school in. So why would they get an SUV Lamborghini when they clearly have the money for a family car? To put it simply, it's just to look aggressive. When the average driver sees a Lamborghini SUV in their rearview mirror, they say, wow, they mean business. But when I see one, I'd probably say, there goes someone who just wants to feel fast without actually being fast. At the end of the day, the Urus is just an expensive, more classy Dodge Durango that wears a Lamborghini badge. Don't give them more attention than they already have. Now for the Hummer EV, or any Hummer for that matter. Remember when Hummers were these gas-guzzling tanks that looked like they were designed by someone who really hated aerodynamics? Yeah, well, now they've gone all electric, but they still look like a brick with headlights. The Hummer EV is basically a giant rolling billboard screaming, look at me, I'm saving the planet, while simultaneously weighing more than your apartment building. It comes with weird features like crab mode. Once I was in an Uber in downtown Chicago at night, and I saw this stupid thing crab walking around the street, which was a two-way with traffic, but he did it anyway. Did I care? No. Did he look like a dumb asshole doing it? Yes. The truth is, we all know you got a Hummer EV just to show off. You're never loading anything into that bed. You probably can't even tow a jet ski without having to recharge every 5 miles. Hummers get glazed so much because they're just so big and aggressive, but they don't look cool. To me, they look like a 5-year-old built an SUV in Minecraft. I was also going to include the Sierra EV, Silverado EV, Rivian R&T, and F-150 Lightning, but I realized everything here applies to these trucks as well. They're useless and dumb. In conclusion, please don't buy an EV truck. Trucks are meant to carry and do hard jobs, not to show off. I guarantee you, put an electric truck in a construction job and it will. Now for the Mercedes G-Wagon, a certified cardboard box on wheels. The G-Wagon is one of the most overrated luxury SUVs on the market. It's ugly, overpriced, and surrounded by the same kind of cult following you'd expect from something like the Toyota Supra. But at least the Supra has some performance to back it up. The G-Wagon, not so much. Let's start with the design. It hasn't changed much in decades, and while some people call it iconic, it just feels outdated. The styling is all sharp angles and bulky proportions, and for some reason, it's the go-to car for influencers trying to show off. I don't get it. Fuel economy? Don't expect much. It barely breaks 20 miles per gallon, and that's if you're being generous. Performance? Despite its AMG badge or its big V8, it doesn't really drive well. The acceleration is fine, but once you actually start turning the wheel, you'll quickly realize this thing handles like crap. It's top-heavy, sluggish, and far from maneuverable. It handles like it's drunk and still thinks it's in a war zone, yet the only battle we'll see fighting is for a parking lot at Whole Foods. Do they buy it for off-roading? Mercedes likes to sell it as an off-roader, but it really isn't. The suspension feels stiff, and while it might have tech to go off-road, almost no one who buys it is going to actually use it that way. And even if they did, the ride quality is so poor it's not even worth the attempt. At the end of the day, people buy G-Wagons because of the image. If you're spending this much on an SUV, there are plenty of better options out there that offer more performance, better efficiency, and actual comfort, not just a badge and some stitched leather. So, unless you're trying to impress people who only care about brand names, please don't get a G-Wagon. Now, lots of people will get mad at me for this, but the Tesla Model S Plaid sucks. The S Plaid is one of those cars that exist to purely flex numbers. It goes 0 to 60 in under 2 seconds, it has over 1,000 horsepower, and can destroy just about anything in a drag race. But once you get past the straight line speed, what are you really left with? It's a 4-door luxury sedan with a minimalistic interior that feels oddly sterile for something this expensive. The steering yoke? More of a gimmick than a real improvement. It's not practical for daily use, and most people who actually drive the car end up disliking it pretty quickly. Tesla even backpedaled and offered a regular steering wheel again, which should tell you everything. Tesla owners act so tough, yet ask them to open the hood to put in window washer fluid and they'll be scratching their heads. Fun fact, if you ever have to drag race a Tesla and don't want to be smoked, just put a nail on their tire, because Tesla owners don't know how to change one. It's a proven fact. Okay, please don't pop people's tires, but Tesla owners not knowing how to change one is true. Next up, the most overrated car of all time, you know it, I know it, the Tesla Cybertruck. Tesla advertises it like it's some sort of futuristic workhouse that could handle anything you throw at it. Built for toughness, they said. Ready for the apocalypse, they said. Okay, but what job is it actually good for? Carrying a few overpriced throw pillows you need to return to Target? I wouldn't be surprised if it couldn't even do that without a warning message pop up. Let's be honest, when was the last time you actually saw a Cybertruck? Think hard. It probably was last year when some tech bro posted one on Instagram and then promptly disappeared off the face of the earth. That's because they're dead. Not literally, but functionally. They're either being babied by overpriced prestige rental companies that cater to influencers, or they're sitting in a Tesla service center waiting for parts that don't exist yet. And if you do happen to see one, it's usually crawling down the road at 15 miles an hour while the driver desperately tries to avoid scratching that stainless steel body. Because once you scuff that unfinished metal, you're just driving a fridge with racing stripes. All Tesla fans can keep pretending it's the future, but the reality is the Cybertruck is already a relic. An awkward, overhyped metal wedge, it's more of a conversation piece than a usable vehicle. And that's why it tops the list. The most overrated car of all time. Case closed. Thanks for watching, and remember people, drive safe, drive smart, but most importantly, drive something we're talking about. See you in the next one.